Welcome back to the channel. What I've got here for you today, 3 products by Otterbox. I've been using Otterbox products for a while, and I've got to say they certainly do everything they claim to do. They offer fantastic protection, right, both from everyday knocks and scratches, and the best thing of all is the impact resistancy, right, on some of their products. I mean, you've got to make sure you do a bit of reading on the website before you make a choice. Well, we're going to start off with the Blackberry Bold. This is the 9900 Blackberry Bold in the Otterbox Defender case. Right, now as you can see from this, let's just move this over for a second. Right, as you can see from this, everything about it oozes quality and robustness. Right, you've got a 2-piece plastic case, right, which encapsulates the phone inside, and then you have this very soft, pliable, impact resistant rubber, right, sleeve coat cover, whatever you want to call it, that goes over the top. Right, I'm not going to start throwing this phone around, right, it means too much to me and I use it far too much, right, to go running the risk of destroying it. But believe me, if you have a look around on YouTube, you'll find people that have actually put their phones in an Otterbox case and thrown them off the top of buildings and so forth, right, and they really do work, right. I must admit I'm really sold on this brand, right, right, for lots and lots of reasons, right. With the Defender series, right, you find that you get this belt holder, case, cover, whatever you want. Now with Blackberries, as you probably know if you're a Blackberry owner, right, a lot of the cases have a magnet built into them, which puts the phone into hibernate mode, right, when you actually put it in the case, right, which is great. You could actually program the phone to turn certain features off, right, increase or decrease volumes and so forth. Right, now you can set the settings of the phone so that activates those settings that you've programmed in to activate when you put them in the case. Now unfortunately with a lot of third-party cases you don't get the additional magnet fitted. With Otterbox you do, right, and if you take a close look you can see it here, it's that silver blip, right, that sticks out in the middle there. So when you actually put the phone into the belt holder, that puts it into hibernate mode. Ever so strong the belt holder, the grip on the case is fantastic, right. I've never managed to knock the phone out of the belt holster. You can actually set the phone to answer when you remove the phone from the holster. So from your point of view, right, you'll find that, you know, you can set it up, but the magnet is certainly there. It's a feature put in by Blackberry, right, or Research in Motion as I should say, right, and Otterbox have come along, made the addition to the Defender case so that you can carry on using those facilities and features of the phone, right, when you're away from the standard Research in Motion Blackberry cases. Right, now I'm going to pop this to one side and we're going to move across to, you can tell I'm a bit of a Blackberry fanatic, right, the Blackberry Playbook. There we go, it's gone into sleep mode. Let's pop it up. Get a bit of... Right, now the Playbook is Blackberry's answer to the tablet world, and I've got to say I love it a bit, so I use it a lot. Right, it gets humped around me all over the place, but the one thing that really concerns me is damage to it. It's got a nice big screen, very easily knocked, right, very easily bumped. Not something that we really want to see get damaged. Along come Otterbox and they've built a Defender case to fit this. Right, same scenario again, plastic 2-part case which encapsulates the Playbook in the middle, right, and a very impact resistant rubber case on the outside. It's the same rubber that you get on the other Otterbox cases. Right, so again, plenty of impact protection. The other great thing actually with this rubber is it's very tactile, it's very grippy. Right, so if you've got any damp hands or whatever, right, or if your hands are a bit greasy, it really does help you hang on to that tablet, your mobile phone, right? So it's giving you a lot of extra grip on the product. I've had a couple of phone cases for the 9900, and I must admit they looked great when I ordered them, right? And when they arrived, they were so slippery, they were unreal, right? But they were cheapies, right? So I mean, you're going to get what you pay for. Great thing with all of these, right? The phone cases, the Playbook case, right? Is quite simply the buttons. They still carry on, right? Having the extensions for the buttons going through the actual the rubber case, and they work just the same as the buttons do underneath. There's no loss of feeling, no loss of sensation, right? Everything about them, right, matches up. They still work the same. It's brilliant, right? The other thing that Otterbox have done, right, unfortunately a lot of these phones, and we're going to this bit in a minute, right, a lot of the phones, tablets and so forth, they've got holes in them all over the place. Well, sometimes we don't use those all the time, so we really want to go and bung those holes up to stop any foreign bodies getting inside. Right, the headphone jack on this has got a rubber cover. Excuse me, this is very new. The one thing I will say is, although I'm saying it's very new and it's stiff, you'll find that this isn't something that after a couple of weeks it's going to go all floppy and fall apart. But you know, there's the rubber cover covering up the headphone jack. Right, we've got another one on the bottom there covering up the charging ports, the HDMI port and so forth. Right, everything about it oozes quality. Moving on to the one thing I forgot to mention with this in particular, with the actual, and I don't know if this applies to the other tablet cases that Otterbox do, so please, if you've got a different tablet to this, have a look and make sure before you place any orders. This is has a built-in screen protector. Now, my Playbook already had an adhesive screen protector fitted to it. I haven't taken that off, but I just put the Defender case over the top. There's no loss of sensation, right, when you're activating the screen. As you can see now, that's going through. So I'm not actually looking what I'm doing here. I'm looking at the camera, right? It still works the same. That's with two screen protectors on it, right? So there's no real concern that you're going to have if you go and put this on. Having the built-in screen protector, if you've already got one, it's still going to work. Let's just pop this over here, because when I first got it out of the case, I mean, I already knew because I'd actually looked on the website before I went and bought these, right? What happens about screen protection when it's in your bag? Well, this is the front cover, right, for the Defender case, right? And the great thing about this is it's actually got a built-in stand, right, that pops up. You can see that. Right, now you actually got two viewing angles with this stand, which I think is rather brilliant. It's just been very well thought out, right? Just pop that up where it's supposed to be. Right, you've got this more of a shallow angle, right, which is really great if you're using the on-screen keyboard, right, for typing. It sets that at quite a nice angle. Right, if you want to sit there and put it in, say, viewing mode, you just literally take it off, turn it round, and it sits the tablet up. You see, and that's a much better viewing angle. Maybe a little bit steep for typing. Some of you may like it, some of you might not. It's really a case of just suck it and see. Right, but when it comes down to it, everything you can think of has been thought out with this. Once you finish with it in as a case, put that down, clip it down. It's still very new, very tight. Right, this can then clip on the front, and that then gives you very, very high levels of screen protection. Right, now the great thing about this is they've even thought of the camera on the back. If you're having this just clipped on the back, let me just do it, it's a 2-second job. If you've got that clipped on the back, right, they even put a little sliding cover there, right, to protect the camera, right, if it's not in use. If you need to use it, right, it just slides across. You know, it's a bit difficult to do this end, but there it is, closed up. Right, so everything you really want, all in one complete package. Right, just quickly go back to the phone case for a second. Sorry, I was talking about the buttons lining up. Something I did forget on this. Right, you've got your volume up and down and your mute button. Right, you've got your, I've got this set on camera. Right, on the other side, right, on the earphone jack, you've got covers covering that up, and also on the micro USB socket as well, there's a cover there. Okay, the phone case comes with a screen protector, and I've got to say, I've had some screen protectors in my time. This one goes on, it was brilliant. Right, I've had some cheap ones, right, bought off of a certain online auction site, which to sum it up, they were pelt. Right, let's move across, because this is another aspect to Otterbox, which I'm not sure if this is where they actually started out or not, but waterproof cases. We've all got electronic equipment in particular, right, and sometimes if you're an outdoor person such as I am, the thought of dumping your camcorder out of the canoe into the water, right, is just horrific. Right, Otterbox do a range of cases in different shapes and sizes. This is the 3512 3512. Right, this one is one of the larger Otterbox cases. Right, in fact, it might be the largest, but don't quote me on that. Right, but inside this one is foam lined. Now you've got a big panel of foam there. You can see that you've got a waterproof seal. That light grey seal runs around the edge there. Right, and when that clamps down on this raised lip here, it really does provide a waterproof seal. Now you can take this foam out if you so wish, right, giving you a cavernous box. But the great thing about this foam here is it's been cut into small, I'd say roughly 8mm square strips cut in both directions. Now you can actually pick relevant bits out to make things fit. So if you've got a camera you want to fit in there, sit your camera on top, right, just work out which bits you need to remove, take those out, the camera goes in, and it's not going to slop around inside the box. If you want to carry a multitude of bits and pieces in there, right, you can actually, excuse me one second, right, you can remove the foam, right, which will then give you quite a large size box. Now even the box itself has got like a foamy coating on the inside, so even if you put your phone and your bits and pieces in there, it's not going to bang against the side of the box. Now with this you get a piece of foam that's about 1 centimetre thick that goes in the bottom of the box. Then you have this other, this is the, you can see if I bend it how it's all pre-cut. Right, that bit goes in. That's actually got a foam cover on the outside. I mean, these really are quite a work of art. Right, I'd love to see the machine that cuts these out actually. So if anybody works in the factory that cuts these, can you please shoot a video and pop it on YouTube? Right, that slides in there. So if you want to go into packaged mode, right, and then you have another piece of foam which fits inside the lid. Right, now what I haven't done yet, what I will do, I'm going to remove some of this, so when I'm canoeing my foam will fit in on its side, right, giving it plenty of protection, and then maybe take another bit out, right, to put a few other bits, maybe car keys and a watch, that sort of thing. Right, but once you close this up, it's a very robust click, as you can see. Right, you've got a nice carry cord on there. I mean, this in the canoe is going to be brilliant. This would just clip up against something. That's not going anywhere at all. Right, there is the facility there. You can pop a, I would assume, a padlock through there, right, just to stop nosy people nosing inside to see what's in your box. Right, but all in all, I mean, the impact resistance of these cases is phenomenal. Right, now I haven't gone into the fitting of the cases and so forth. I want to talk about the actual protective qualities of these cases, but I'm sure if you're looking at this video on YouTube, you've had a look at some of the others. There's plenty of them there showing you how you fit the case, take the case off and so forth. You'll actually find videos on YouTube of people running these boxes over, right, with their cars, right, and they really do take the punishment. And I'm not suggesting that you do it, just in case you've got my luck and it does happen to go wrong. But believe me, I have seen these videos, and I'm sure you have as well if you're doing a search on Otterbox products. Right, I've put a web address at the end of this this video for you. Right, so if you want, you can go to the company that I brought these from. Right, now please bear in mind these weren't supplied by anybody. Right, these are mine, they're bought and paid for, so please don't go hassling the retailer for review products. Right, these are things I bought because I needed them. Right, one thing I keep forgetting, there's so many features to this phone case, it's unreal. One thing I did forget, and I didn't realise it had this until it arrived. Right, for a start off, you've got a rotating belt clip on the back. Now that belt clip will take up to roughly, I would say, a 40 to 50 millimetre wide belt, so quite a wide belt there. But the good thing about it is the actual clip on the back, if you push it right in, it locks. So it also acts, if you take your phone out, as a desk stand. Right, so if you're sitting there with it on your desk at work, right, you can have it set at a nice viewing angle, so if anything comes through, you'll just be able to see it without having to pick it up and mess about and getting in trouble from the boss. Right, but please, if you've got any questions, by all means fire me off a message. Right, I'll always see if I can find the answers for you. Right, if I can't, I might be able to find somebody about that can. Right, but please, right, enjoy the products. I've been using them, they really are good. Right, I'm not going to say one's better than the other because they're all equally as good as one another. These boxes in particular, right, if you're carrying cameras, camcorders, right, MP3 players, anything at all that's electronic that you don't want to get damaged, that you definitely don't want to get wet, these are your answer. Okay, thanks for watching. Any questions or queries, please feel free to drop me a line. Bye bye.